Okay. I think yesterday we start here with the configuration part. So we will check with the transaction. So that is for the intra transfer. So sub-inventory transfer we saw between one sub-inventory to another sub-inventory. So this is between one inventory organization to another inventory organization. Okay. So the prerequisites are we will need a few items in both the inventory or this item has to be defined under one particular what you call the master, and we will need this to be available in both the organizations. So we created it and we used one master and we assigned the same master to the both the inventory organization, and also we added the icon to it. Okay. So yeah, we have the role already with us, that is warehouse manager. So we will check whether this intra transfer is working. Okay, so we created yesterday this arc, the lot control enabled. I'll just pick this one. So shipment number, I can either enter it manually or probably if I want to generate a shipment number, I can generate it from here. Okay, and we can enter the source. So here in our case, it is a manual entry. So I'll just say source as a manual, and waybill number would be. So I'll just give it as 7823 456. Okay. And carrier, I'm not defining it because this is optional. If I want to enable carrier, so I can give. So I'm not defining it. So I'm just leaving this particular item. Okay. And then number of packing units, probably we can say. Okay. And the expected receipt date. So let's say this intra transfer is happening between one country to another country. So let's say we have operations in India and also we have operations in China. So which means we are trying to transfer this item from India unit to China unit. So in this case, we will have our shipment number, we will have our waybill number and the other details. So in on this case, basically we will have the carrier as probably air or some other mode, air or ship, whatever mode we want to use. Okay. And after that, we will also have the expected receipt date. So when this particular item will reach China and when it can be applied or created with receipt. Okay. So I'll just say on the same day, because the understanding is that we are doing transfer between entity which is in the same state. Okay. And then I will add item. So basically, which item I wanted to transfer. Okay, this is what we saw yesterday. So yeah, I'll define one sub inventory because what has happened is that I created two sub inventory under the same organization. So probably I'll define another one with this. organization. So probably after that, we should be able to see the details. Okay, so I created a sub-inventory, so probably I'll add a few quantities to this unit also, so that we can do this transaction. So I'll say it is miscellaneous receipt. Yeah, so we have 1,000 quantity in this arc. Probably I'll check with other arc also. If not, I'll add quantities for that also. Yeah. So basically we have okay, let me check. Okay, fine. Yeah. So we'll do on IoT drug transfer. Okay. I think one of the sub inventory doesn't have the on-hand quantity. But while defining the organization, I have given allow negative balances also. So in this case, system should allow. So which means system will say it is an minus 10. So still, I'll just complete this transaction and probably we can add values to it. So for now, what I'm doing is that I'm doing transfer between one inventory to other inventory. So on the basis of sub inventory. Okay. See, the quantity that I'm transferring is 10, and I'm just saying this is an stock adjustment, and item we selected this one. Okay. Okay. So now let me check if it is done. Let me check in the pending transaction. It should have moved. Yeah, there is no pending transaction. Yeah, so this transaction has done, so it is moved. So now we can see that it is in minus 10 quantities. Okay, and it is stock adjustment. Okay, so this is done. So what I'll do is that I will receive this item into this inventory. So I'll just change in the show task to receipt and probably I'll receive the item. So I'll go to receive expected shipment and I will receive the items. Yeah, this is in transit shipment. Yeah, yeah. So I was checking the wrong organization. Yeah, so that was the organization from where we were sending the items. Okay. So I changed to the receiving organization, and yeah, so I'll just select this transaction and I'll say receive. So I'll say it is 10 quantities, the same amount I'm entering here, and I'll say the supplementary. So this will be my inventory. Okay, I think location I did not give one when I created the supplementary. Okay, so what I have done is that I have just given the quantity, and by default system will say it is an receiving entity, because how the actual process will happen is that we will have an receiving unit, and from the receiving unit basically we will transfer the items to the what do you call the final unit, where we will do the shipment, or probably we will do the manufacturing. So it will happen through the transfers. Okay. So in this case, what I have done is that without transferring, I just picked the inventory unit. Okay. So I have attached the unit that we created. Okay. So I think we did not give the location. So I'm just leaving this as it is. And the receipt date is same. So we gave the expected receipt date. So I'm giving the same date. Okay. And this is auto-populated based on the access that we have. So it will be directly this particular user called Metro user. Okay. So either we can add to the existing receipt, or probably we can create the new receipt. So we don't have any such thing called add to receipt as of now. So I'll create a new receipt. Okay. So the receipt number generation, what we gave is that automatic, that is sequential, starting from 1. So we should have the receipt numbers generated automatically. Okay. And we could see the line details of this receipt. Okay. So yeah, so here basically if you want to add any details like bill of lading and the other information, so when we are receiving the items into our inventory, so we can enter those details. So those are optional, so I'm just leaving it. I'll say submit. Okay, so receipt number 2 is created with line one line. So I'll just query the receipt. Okay, so basically we gave 10 quantities that will be transferred from L underscore E, so that this will not enable first unit and to the second. So this is our second unit. So we transferred from one inventory arc 1 to inventory arc 2. So with 10 quantities. So now when we check the quantity, this thing, the unearned quantity, so we can see that from 1000, we can see now it is 1010. So it has received from the other unit. So now if I want to see the breakdown, so probably I can see those breakdown also. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, so that's about the intrag transfer. So next, what we will see is that we will see the cycle count. Okay. So cycle count is nothing but the process of basically auditing the item on an periodical basis, basically. Okay. So what will happen is that so I have certain count in my system and I might have certain count in my physical warehouse. So as a process, what I will do is that I will count there in my warehouse and I will do this cycle count here. So we have different ways of doing the cycle counting. So cycle ABC cycle counting can be either based on the category or it might be based on the uh, things that we have other parameters as well. So I'll just show. Okay. Okay. So here we have two things. So let's say I wanted to, yeah. So here, let's say I wanted to probably do the cycle counting based on the item category. So which means, let's say I have 40 or 50 categories for my inventory at the warehouse. So I can either go by the cycle counting or I can go with my sub inventories. Okay. So sub inventories in this case, I have created only one, but in real time it will not be one, it will be much more actually. So according to our sub inventory also, we can do this one. If I want to go by my sub inventory, what I will do is that I will just click this and I will say include and count. Or probably, let's say I wanted to go by item category, I'll just enable this checkbox. So system will so this is basically how do I want to categorize this counting process. So that is what we are determining here. So for now, what I will do is that I will go by sub inventory. Okay, because going with item category is standard process. So I will include in count for sub inventory. Okay, so now we can see that this is included in the count. Okay. So yeah, I'll just say next. And here, whether we wanted to include this in approval process or we just wanted this process to be handled manually. So if we want to have the approvals to be set up, probably we will have to configure in BPM for workflows and the other things. So once that is configured, so basically based on the rules that we are setting up there in the BPM. So this will pick up and this will get approved. Okay. So workday schedule, it will be picked up automatically. So based on the calendar that we attached in our inventory organization. Okay. Because the system will understand through this configuration. So that is the organization that we selected. So here for both the organization, we will have the same workday calendar. The reason being is that we did not create multiple calendar. Instead, we used one schedule. We created one schedule, and we are using the same schedule for both the inventory organization. Okay, and schedule probably if we want to schedule it automatically. So we can give the frequency. So whether I wanted to have by weekly or daily or by probably monthly or quarterly. So whatever the sequence that we want, so we can set it up here. Okay. Yeah. And then we will define certain parameters here that how do we want this to be, I mean, sequenced, or how do we want this to be counted. Okay. Okay. And there are also few controls wherein if I want to give the recount, so if I want to recount this, so let's say there is a discrepancy between my physical inventory count and the inventory count that I'm having it here. So if I want to do a recount, so if I want to have a certain limit to it, the recounting process, so I can set the recount here. Okay. So this is optional, so this is not mandatory. So I'm not setting any limit at this point. Okay. And we'll just give the start date, and we will say whether count zero quantity. So all these options. So whether we want to enable the manual count, these things. Okay. Okay. And then we have serialization options. So when we will use the serial number option is that basically let's say there is an process wherein this is an finished good. So for any finished good, so most of the cases we will have the serial numbers because that is what we see it in our what do you call the any store if you walk in. So you will see certain numbering and top of that you will have the barcode. So in barcode, basically we will have the serialization also. So that will be integrated as part of it. So barcode, I mean the serialization process can be either automatic or it could be a manual process. So in our case, we gave this as an automatic when we define our uh, inventory organization. Okay. So serialization can be given at two levels. So either it can be given at inventory organization, okay, this lot and the serialization, or probably we can give it at sub inventory also, or probably other ways handling is that giving at the item level. Okay. So item level is more often restricted private serialization. So wherein this serial number will be generic to a specific what you call the sequence or the manual or the automation of serial number. So this is specific to the item, not specific to the SBU or not specific to the inventory organization also. Okay. So according to the requirement, we will set up the serial number. So in our case, we have given serialization at this one, what do you call, the organization. That is, we gave at the higher level inventory organization. Okay. So now, whether I wanted to give the serial number per count. So count is whether I want to give or I wanted to have it multiple. So I'll just say one. Okay. And serial number adjustment. So whether there is an mismatch or anything. So whether we want to use the adjustment option also. Okay. Or probably if I want to review all the adjustments, so I can give it. Okay. So I'm just giving the same thing. Okay. So then we have the serial discrepancy. So whether we want to allow the discrepancy or not. The discrepancy is nothing but so between one number to other number, we might have few discrepancies. Okay. So that's about it. Okay. And then these are like accuracy and the other details, the positive and the negative values. So these are optional. So I'll just leave this and I'll click next. Okay. And then we have, yeah, we did not create ABC class. I think, okay, I'll just create one ABC class for this particular unit. I think we created for the other one. Okay, let me create one ABC class for this also, and then probably we will say count per year, and also we have a few tolerance. Okay, we will first create the class, and then probably we will see these details. Okay, so here we have certain parameters or the criteria that we can set it up for our cycle count process. Okay. So yeah, so before that we have the content scope also. So whether we want to have this to be calculated at sub-inventory level, or we wanted to have it at organization level. Okay. So in our case, the items that we added is at even though it is sub-inventory, so we did not have more than two or three sub-inventory because we were just having it for the testing purpose only one or two units. So what I'm doing is that I'm selecting the organization, but most of the cases it will happen in sub-inventory. But the sub-inventory count will be more. So most of the cases, what we will do is that we will select the organization. But also we have the option to select the sub-inventory also. So let's say there is a requirement. So there is an discrepancy in the count. And now I wanted to count through this sub-inventory. So I can enable at sub-inventory, and also I can do the what do you call the reconciliation at sub-inventory also. Okay, so here I'm selecting organization, and we have few criteria to select. Okay, so whether I want to have this based on the item cost, or I want it based on the unearned quantity, or the usage quantity. So accordingly, I can give these things, the criteria. Okay, so I'll just say it is based on current unearned quantity. Okay, and I'll just say submit. And then, yeah, so we have defined the class and we have defined the classification set as well. So the next thing is that we will set up ABC assignment group, and probably after that we can perform our ABC analysis. I mean the counting process. Okay. So since I did not give at supplementary level, so this if you see it will be blank. Okay. So it's assigned at organization level. So that is at the inventory org that we have selected. So before coming to this screen, basically we selected the inventory organization, that is LE underscore one lot enable unit second unit. Okay. So I'll just add the class as well. So what we created. So this is nothing but we are trying to add a list of parameters how system should basically do the counting process. So we saw in the class that there are multiple parameters that we can use. So accordingly, we can give the sequence. So if at all I have an process wherein I'll have different classes to be defined with different criteria, and I should process based on the sequence. So I can set up multiple classes also. So in our case, I'm just attaching this one class that we set it up based on the quantity, that is on and quantity. Okay. So I'm just saying save and I'll close this. Yeah. Okay. So this is done. Yeah. So so since we created this assignment group also, I'm just attaching it. Okay. So there are two options that we can select here. So either it could be the existing one that we are using, and we will just make the changes to it. So I'll say append changes. So the other option is that I'll say complete. If I select none, so it means system is not going to perform this particular counting process. Okay. So I have attached the assignment group and probably we can schedule this. Okay. So I'm not using any approval process here. So I'm using the standard one. So I'll just say next. Okay. So accuracy also I'm not giving. So yeah, let's click next. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I have selected this schedule to be automated. Okay. So this is done. Okay, items are included. I think there is an issue with generating the sequence. Yeah, usually what will happen is that when we say count name, it will generate automatically. So we will have counted quantity and the actual one, and we will have the discrepancies. So this is how it will be. Okay, let me check. Give me a minute. Yeah, this is the major part wherein we will attach the items. So these items also included. Mm, okay, let me check once. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me check if there is some issue with serialization. I think I enabled serialization for both the inventory. Let me check once. Okay, I think there is an issue with this thing. So what I'll do is that I'll check internally and probably we'll see evening. So evening I will spend 1 hour. So I stuck up with the meeting. Today we'll spend 1 hour and we will complete this part.
Okay, Arun, no issues. We can see in the evening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So evening time alone I'll just confirm and probably in 1 or 2 hours.